Hi, I'm Dr. Lenora Coleman, President and founder of Healing Our Village, and thank you so much for participating in our Prevent T2 Diabetes Prevention Program. As you know, this program was developed by the CDC, and Healing Our Village is a digital prevention program. So we're really happy that you decided to work with us in our digital program. This particular episode is going to be called Finding Time for Fitness. And so we're going to talk about how you can add fitness to your lifestyle, how you can become more active, how you can change the way you're living your life currently so that you'll be able to get that 150 minutes of exercise in and get your goal to lose 5 to 10% of your body weight. So this session is going to focus on how challenging sometimes it is, you think, to fit in that 150 minutes a week. That's how much we need, 150 minutes in that 7-day period of time. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about, first of all, why it's so important to be active, and we've covered that in some of our other sessions. We're going to talk about the challenges of trying to fit in fitness, and then we're going to give you some ideas, some tips on how we can all become more active in our life. And we're going to try to figure out how to carve out the time. Trying to figure out how to get that time in every day so that at the end of the week you've hit your 150 minutes. So there's some tips that we're going to give you right off the top. You need to tweak your schedule. You need to figure out what your day looks like. When you get up, when you go to bed, how long it takes you to travel to work, or if you're staying at home, all the chores and all the activities that you're doing in your day. You got to look at your schedule. So you need to take out a piece of paper and a pencil and actually write down what your typical day looks like. Because then what we're going to do is have you figure out how you can change your schedule, tweak that schedule of yours to get in that 30 minutes that you need to get in every day to get to your 150 minutes throughout the week. Now, you're going to have to ask your family to help, or if you have a next door neighbor or friends, you may want to get your friends to come in and help you exercise with them on a daily basis to get you to your 150 minutes. But a lot of your family and friends may have to help you move some things around in your schedule so they're doing it and you're not doing it. So washing dishes, helping you cook, helping you clean. We're going to talk about some of those ideas as we're looking at you trying to find time for fitness. So let's start with Mark. He's a typical patient that we see often in our diabetes education classes, and Mark's at risk of developing type 2 diabetes. It has it in his family, and so his numbers are already starting to drift upward. His doctor asked him to get at least that 150 minutes of exercise every week, and he wanted him to do it at a moderate pace because Mark is a very busy guy. But plus, when you first start out for your exercise program, you don't want to do too much too fast. You want to sort of ease into this. So if we're trying to get 20 to 30 minutes a day, you might just want to start off with 10 minutes and just see if you can get that done over 2 weeks, and then start slowly increasing your time. So that's how you get that moderate pace or that moderate exercise fit into your lifestyle. Now, Mark's having trouble finding the time. All of us do. We all think we're way too busy for that. But we know that after you've went through this program that you're going to figure out how to get your 150 minutes a week. So this is what Mark did. Mark decides to make some changes. So these days, he gets up 30 minutes sooner so he can get in a morning walk. But what happens if it rains that day? Well, then Mark has to walk around inside of his house or march in place because he's still got to get that 30 minutes in that he's carved out. And he lifts weights while he's watching television and marches in place. He also has decided to play soccer with his grandkids. That's a great way for you to incorporate exercise into your weekly schedule. It's great to exercise not for only Mark, but for the grandkids. So now kids don't exercise nearly as much as they used to, so this should really become a family affair. So you gotta have some fun with this exercise. It can't just be a drudgery, because if you think about this, we're gonna want you to do this for the rest of your life. So Mark is now, because of all of those little changes to his schedule, he's now hitting his exercise and fitness goal. Now, let's talk about how we're going to fit in fitness. All right, well, you got to think about what you do all the time or anytime. So we got to do our 150 minutes, but maybe you want to break that into 10-minute chunks. And actually, you can set your watch, or if you have a Fitbit or another type of tracker, wellness tracker, then you'll be able to set that. So every 10 minutes, it lets you know that you need to do something. You need to schedule it maybe. Some of you like to have things on your calendar, and that's okay if you do that. But you got to tweak your schedule. Maybe you have, again, 30 minutes earlier when you wake up to get your exercise in before you go to work or start your day, and then 30 minutes later in the evening that you've carved out, again, so that you're able to get that exercise in. But you're going to have to tweak your schedule. Let's talk about getting fitness in when you go to places. So let's say that you take the train or the bus to work. All right, or even if you drive your car, you need to park a little farther from your destination if you're driving, or if you're taking the train and the bus, try to get off at the stop before your stop so you can get in a few more blocks of exercise that you're walking. If you have stairs in your house, great thing to do. Walk up and down those stairs is a great form of fitness. Stair climbing is what the athletes do. So if you have stairs, that way you can get in your fitness. So go up and down those stairs 10 times and as part of your fitness routine. Or again, if you're walking or riding your bike to places, that's also a great form of exercise. Now, let's talk about something that I know I do, and I'm sure that you're doing, which is watching television. Well, we got to figure out, instead of sitting there on the couch or laying down in the bed, what can I do during that time that I'm watching my favorite news programs? Sometimes I watch 2 and 3 hours of news every night because I'm a news junkie. So what I've tried to do is I actually have a stationary bike in my bedroom. And so now I'm getting on that bike at least 20 minutes during that time that I'm watching my news programs to get in some fitness while I'm watching TV. Or you can just, during the commercials, dance or step side to side during that commercial break time. You don't know how many commercials that there are in one show. So you can get a lot of exercise in just based upon doing something during the commercials. You can lift weights. That's what Mark did during the TV breaks. Or you can march or jog in place. And again, I told you my idea, which was the stationary bike or treadmill. Another thing is you can get your fitness in while you're doing things around the house. These things that you need to get done. So again, you got to carve the time. So your family and friends have to pitch in to kind of free you up. But maybe you want to mow your lawn. I just bought a brand new lawnmower, and I have my gardener only comes once a month. And during those other weeks, I'm the one who's pushing that lawnmower for both my front yard and my backyard. And I look at it as exercise. I don't look at it as work. And I really actually like mowing my lawn. So you might want to think about doing that. Or you can rake your lawn or weed your beds or shop. The other day when I was out in that yard doing my yard work and I had on my fitness tracker, I actually walked 15,000 steps. Just going around the yard, doing the raking, doing the mowing, cleaning out my beds. So you can definitely get a lot of steps in. And again, shopping. I go to the mall and I go make sure that I walk around that store and look for everything that I'm looking. And even if I don't have a lot of time, sometimes I go from the front of the store to the back of the store at least a couple of times while I'm shopping so I can get my steps in. For those of you who have a dog, you can walk your dog. For those of you who want to save a little extra money, why don't you get out there and wash your car instead of taking that car to a car wash? So all of these things are ways for you to get your fitness in with the things that you're getting done on a weekly basis. Let's talk about socializing. There's a way to get in fitness for that. So you can go dancing with a friend or with a partner. You can join a walking club, or you can go out golfing, or a soccer club, or a softball team. All of that's a lot of fun, and you'll be able to get your steps in. You can, if you have children, young children or grandchildren, you can push them in a stroller. That's a way to get your steps in. If you can afford it, you can take a fitness class. I like Zumba. I've done aerobics most of my life, so that's when I take those classes, that's usually what I do. And now I'm really am into line dancing. So I've found a line dancing instructor that's going to help me with all the latest line dancing steps, and then that way, even if I'm not in her class at home, I can just play the music and do the steps myself and try to get in that 30 minutes that I need to get to my 150 minutes. And then you can just go walking. I have a very good friend that walks around the park every day, and I've made a commitment that during the next 3 months, I'm going to start to join her on some of those walks, even if it's only one day a week. Fitness at work. How many 2-hour meetings are you doing at your workplace? How many conference calls are you doing? Well, get yourself a headset, and as you're sitting there listening to your conference call, get up and march in place. Or in the conference room, they should have a fitness break. You should tell your boss it's good for getting that blood moving. It's good for helping everybody do a little bit better with their cognitive skills. So we need to try to figure out how you're going to do fitness at work. Let's say you have a copy machine that's right by your desk. Well, don't use that one. Use the copy machine that's farther away from your desk. And during your lunchtime, maybe you have a friend at work or a colleague who will walk around the building or walk around the parking lot with you during your lunch break. So you can take half an hour lunch. You can take 30 minutes of that hour lunch and just walk outside or around the building. Even around the floor of the building, you can get that walking in. And so that's a good way where you're doing that at work. So all of these are ways that you can find time for fitness. It is a possibility. Now, here's a nice little worksheet that you're going to use for this class, and you're going to sit down and fill out all of the ways that you think that you can get your 150 minutes in. And then I want you all to share that with the various class members, because you may hear something from one of your class members that you didn't think about. So, and our wellness coaches will be calling you during the week to make sure that you've got this activity log filled out and help you work through some of the challenges and some of the barriers of finding time for fitness. So again, I want to thank you so much for your attention today. We hope you enjoyed learning about finding time for fitness. For more information or to look at some of the other modules to help you begin changing your lifestyle, please go to HOVhealth.com. That's again, HOVhealth.com, or you can call Healing Our Village, 800-788-0941, and we will definitely get back to you within 24 to 48 hours. Thank you so much again, and enjoy.